Alright folks, so in my previous videos on setting up the Bibo, I had gone ahead, set it up with a 3D extruder, and I've been playing with that. It's not really successful yet for me. So I switched out the 3D extruder to the laser engraver. And so for those of you who don't know the Bibo, it comes with 3D, two extruders to do a 3D printing, and also a laser engraver. So even though it says on their website that the laser engraver and 3D extruder are part of the Bibo, you actually cannot use them at the same time. There is no space in that system to put the two extruders and the engraver at the same time. You actually have to take the extruders out and put the engraver in. It's a little bit of work, but it's fairly easy to do. So I've done that, and I'm gonna try to make a print, basically make a laser print. So I just wanted to see if that's going to be successful. So I need to go, so you still have to go and say I want to print something, and then you pick the thing to print. It will typically switch on. There it comes. So it'll typically switch on the, there you go, you can see the it says it's doing something. Not entirely sure what's happening. I see the laser is on, except that I don't see anything getting engraved. We'll see if I have to refocus the laser. The laser is supposed to be fully focused. So it seems like it's done. So I'm going to take this thing out, and lo and behold, there is nothing there. So clearly the laser is not focused. I'm going to have to focus the laser. So earlier on I did focus the laser, and it did seem like it was it was working, but let's try this again. I'm just gonna I think the Z was supposed to be set at 40. That was probably the problem. Okay, let's try this once more. So the Z-axis for the laser is 40 millimeters from the top, and for some reason the Z-axis was set at 45, and I'm not sure why it moved the Z. Now I can actually see something burning on the, it's very light, but I can see the paper burn actually. So whenever you work with the laser, you really should be wearing the protective eyewear so that you don't get burnt. So, okay, I think we've got something here. Let's see what it says. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has engraved the letters Bibo. Fairly faint, but it has done it. So what we could try, since it's very faint, we could try is we could basically put this back and see if we can set this to set the Z to 38 or 39 and see what comes out. After all, it's just an experiment. And since this is a piece of paper, it seems like the paper, flexes and folds as well. So the more rigid and flat something is, I think it helps. All right, start it again. Okay, so this has definitely come out much better than the previous attempt. I think you'd be able to see it. It's much clearer. The previous attempt was on this side, and as you can see, it's not that clear, and it actually smells of burn as well. So I'm going to try a third attempt here. I'm going to put this paper a little bit like this and see if this guy can I hope the guy does not move around too much. Yes, that is probably better. Okay. I'm going to set the Z to 38 and see what comes. For some reason, this G code has been programmed. So I've not done any G code programming yet, but it looks like it doesn't really remember where the laser head is at a given point. It really wants to go back to reset state before it starts, which is fine. Let's see. So there it's going. It's coming back. And let's see. It's much nicer now. Actually see the you can see the smoke actually come out of the part of the paper as it's being etched. All right, so this is what it looks like with 38. This was with 39. The O is a little bit off here, whereas everything is actually not quite. It's probably still a little bit off here, but this is sharper. This is still a much sharper image. So there we go. That's our laser engraving experiment with the Bibo. And once I get the 3D printing happening, I'll put out a video on that one. So long.